Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz, guys. Welcome to episode 189 of the Untapped Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We actually have 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. In these ones, we go over our anecdotal experiences with things like mindset and mentality. We then pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have physical vitality episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. So in these ones, we really get to showcase our expertise because we have 2 certified personal trainers here. Now, in these ones, we cover everything that we offer through our Untapped training app, which is powered by the Phorm performance platform. Now, if you have any questions or curiosities about what we offer through our app, please reach out to us. We are more than willing and able to help you get the results that you want. Now, in addition to that, we go over everything to do with the gym, workouts, nutrition, supplements, mental toughness programs like 75 Hard, for example. And then at times, we will take trending articles or topics within the fitness industry and give our thoughts and opinions on those. Now, guys, keep in mind, these physical vitality episodes are full of free game. We can't stress that enough, so make sure you pay attention.
Great start, bro. All right, guys, on to our third format now. That is our breaking news format. Our breaking news format is a current event-based format. We sit down and touch on current events, current articles going on in today's world. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the content you see around current events is very sad and the doom and gloom aspects of everything related to current events. We are here to provide the solution-based aspect to those episodes. Now, on to our fourth format. That is our Knights Table format. It is a masculinity-based format. We sit down and touch on things like toxic masculinity, if it's real, what it really is, fatherhood, the impact it's had on all of our lives in here, and then also male-based topics in general and how important men are to the future of not only the United States, but also the world. Keep in mind, I'm 27, Wurtz is 27, our producer Mitch is 25. Because of that reason, we are not coming to you as some all put together perfect man. We will never reach that mountaintop. The only perfect man to ever walk this earth is Jesus Christ. Now, on to our fifth format. That is our guest format. It's what we have for you today. We sit down with entrepreneurs, fitness professionals, athletes, doctors, anybody with a great story or somebody who brings you value of some sort. We learn a lot from these episodes. You, in turn, will also learn a lot from these episodes. Our final thing to introduce before main content of the episode, our producer and my brother, Mitchell Gabel.
What's good? You know, Mitch, he forgot to mention a certain category of person that we have on as guests. You didn't mention caffeine specialists.
Yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
No,
you know.
caffeine experts, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
And I need you to start putting that into the intro.
Okay, I will.
Okay?
I will,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
So
no
on
doubt.
that note, as he mentioned, we do have a guest episode. We are joined by none other than Nick, the human juice box, Tomljenovic.
Wow. What an intro. And he got the last name correct, too.
Hey, man, I practiced. I
That's
can't lie to you. I
impressive.
practiced.
Brother, my whole life.
We were double checking before. We were like, okay,
That's
it's for sure.
crazy.
It's for
My
sure
whole-
this.
my
For
whole
sure this.
life.
Yep.
Do you pronounce the J? I know you don't pronounce the L, but like, do you pronounce the J? No.
Dude, it literally took me to the 2nd grade to figure out how to spell it. Okay? So, like, for you to, off the rip, to get it right, like, mind blown. Respect for the rest of my life here.
The second
It's the silver
grade.
lightning.
It's got to be.
It is.
It's got to be.
It makes a lot of sense
You
to
know?
me, honestly. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense
Let's
to me.
go.
So a few housekeeping items before we dive in here. We had our last
Our last
whatever,
men's workout, yeah.
Last men's workout today on the 7th. It went great as usual. We had a great group of dudes. Mitch was out there with us. We got after it this morning. Chilly morning. The field was all frosted for us, which is actually pretty cool. But another great turnout, another great event, another great workout, good football game. So guys, again, every couple weeks, keep an eye on our Instagram. But every couple weeks, we will continue putting on these events. We had a little break with that big snowstorm that came in. I think, what'd you call it, Nick? Snowmageddon on your YouTube. Yeah. So we had a little extra break there, but we are right back to it every couple weeks. Next one will likely be in the Wildwood area. We go between the 2 spots that we normally do. Yeah. Another great
100%, dude.
turnout.
Love it, dude. Yeah, we're going to keep pumping those as much as we possibly can. And yeah, let's get into it here.
Yeah, for sure. So Nick, just introduce yourself a little bit, talk about what you do, where you're from, kind of your story a bit, and then we'll hop into the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I got to say, when you guys first asked for me to be on this Didn't know that I reached this level of handsomeness. So this means a lot to me. Okay, so just want to throw that out
The
there.
tire pumping starting early.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Excited to be
That's
here.
crazy.
But no, man. From California, born and raised. Growing up, my whole life was hockey. Being a part of a team, playing a sport, something to chase after. Always just loved, just the competitiveness side of all of it. Grateful to have a pretty cool career. Just going through prep school hockey, juniors, traveling, coaching, the whole thing. A little bit of ACHA hockey up in Minnesota, and then eventually after college had ended, found my way over here in St. Louis. Nowadays, work for Phorm on the media side of things. Absolutely love it. Been able to change my life, change a lot of other people's lives along the way. There's so much little details within that take a lot of pride in. Changing as a human, changing as a man to become who I am today took a lot. From where I started when I first came here to where I am now is freaking night and day. So I'm really proud of it. Proud of like people that have been able to impact my life. Meeting great people like you guys. I would say St. Louis is something special. Got something cool going on here. I think there's a lot of potential to keep it growing. That's for damn sure. But so far it's been an awesome 6 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
A lot of people like to underrate St. Louis too, that we've
Yeah.
noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, I think it's because also they don't know about the in-depth workings of St. Louis.
Sure.
They think
Yeah.
of just the crime, or they think of the
That was my
city.
first
The
thought.
city is like kind of boring to some degree, but
Mhm.
realistically, if you actually dive into the communities here, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. And Firstborn's been a big part of that.
Absolutely. And it's also more than just the sports too, because some of the good things that St. Louis is known for, the Cardinals and the Blues, of course.
Mhm.
But here the last few years, those teams have been kind of irrelevant, as much as that pains us to say,
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's actually brought out some of the other communities
Yeah.
throughout St. Louis. Not only the fitness community, like you mentioned, Firstborm's obviously been a big part of that, S2 as well. But just there's so many different types of communities that are all very interesting in their own ways. And I'm not particularly interested in all of them,
Mhm.
but it still gives the city character, and kind of
agree.
gives it a good name.
Yeah.
So it is cool. So was Firstborm what brought you to St. Louis?
No. Man, this was I don't know, kind of a funny stepping stone, in my opinion. After college had ended, I had a job over here. Edward Jones, pulled me over
Yep.
here. It was kind of one of those things after college, had an opportunity to get involved.
Mhm.
Was fired.
Oh.
For the guy that and that's what I was kind of saying. The guy that I was back in the day, is now what you see in front of you. And it took a lot of steps and a lot of looking in the mirror to really understand, like, how do I be the person that I think I'm capable of being, but also eventually, come to find out that I know I'm capable of being too.
Yeah.
Just letting other things, drinking, drugs, negative people, really take over my life. And, that was just kind of where my life had ended after hockey had ended. After, you're not playing on a organized team anymore,
Mhm.
and, you're kind of looking for that next group of people to be around.
Sure.
What's the easiest thing? Well, in my opinion, I think it's, getting in the party scene.
Yeah.
And, no disrespect to, my friends that I grew up, doing that life with. Crazy mememories, insane memories,
Yeah,
stuff that,
right, yeah.
I will hold on to the rest of my life. God damn, incredible. But, the unfortunate thing was, like, after even, leaving a lot of those people and moving here, those habits came with me. They stuck with me for a while, and, unfortunately I couldn't break them, trying to be, this new me in a new life, starting a professional career, really wanted to move my life forward, just couldn't really knock it off. So was fired, and then it was kind of like that next thing. Okay, well, what's next? And, I started to take the gym a little bit more serious. Wasn't something I was like super good at, wasn't like talented, wasn't really strong, wasn't like on social media. It was just, something to kill some time during the day. So of course S2 rolls around, it's just like, okay, this is the place that everyone's buying supplements. I might as well start to get involved. So it was probably, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times that I've walked into the store, had some cool conversations, but was slowly starting to find out, like, this is tough to manage. There's a lot to keep up with, especially if you really want to be your best within the gym. There's a lot to invest in, and it's a good thing that I've learned. So, it was one of those times where I'm like, bro, I'm kind of struggling. Like, I don't have a job. Like, what can I do? Well, the guy at S2, I mentioned that Firstborm was hiring in the warehouse, and, it was a decent discount for the employees. So me just being like, okay, cool.
Let's go.
I'm gonna get this discount. I'm gonna stay here for a few months, kind of ride it out, and then find a new job. Didn't think it was be my forever home, or, really something that would impact my life the way it has. But dude, I got chills immediately. It's just thinking what had happened, and even just the first 3 weeks completely changed me who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out S2. You know, they're the kind of that stepping stone to get me to First Form. I always tell people too, Dave, my interview, I'm walking from the old Green Park from the front office to the warehouse. Andy opens the door for me. No idea who this dude is. no idea who this dude is. And 3 months later, it completely changes my life. Right? I had no idea who this guy is. He's like, "Oh, you going in here?" I'm like, "Yep." Okay, cool. And he opens the door for me, and I'm in the warehouse.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, buddy. A sick Carhartt,
Buddy.
Yeah.
So you was wearing a Carhartt? That's
dude.
funny.
Dude, I'll never
Sick
forget
Carhartt,
it. He had
Andy.
the sickest First Form Carhartt. It was so dope. Yeah. I'll never forget it. But it's just like from there, it was like so many pivotal moments that, I can recall so vividly because I know those are the moments that truly impacted me that I needed. And, like I said, really big spiral in a great way.
Yeah. Dude, it's so cool. We've had so many different people on the podcast, and typically they came to us somehow through S2 or First Form. That's how we met them at an event or, mutual connection or whatever it might be. But it's so cool how everyone has a story typically that starts with S2, and as a customer, maybe that's how they found First Form products. Yeah. And then they found out about the brand, and maybe 75 Hard is mixed in there, excuse me. And it's always so cool to hear their stories. Yeah. What that conversation was the first time they walked through the door, and we both have stories like that. And, some might be profound like what you just had, or some might just be, I found some good products to use, but regardless of what it is, it's always an impactful story. And it always impacted them in X way. Yeah. And I think it just speaks volumes to S2, because First Form's the big brand and everyone loves that and it's great, but it doesn't exist without S2. Yeah. And so many people find First Form through S2, and the guys and the girls in the stores are awesome. They're amazing people, and they do their job really well, at least for the most part. But it's always cool to hear the stories with S2.
What I love when, let's say, people are coming over here to Summer Smash, right? Our biggest event of the year. They want to go experience S2. Like they hear it on the podcast. They see it on our stories. Like they hear what happens at S2 and they want to go see it. Yeah. So it's like, and you're entirely right. Like, S2 helped get First Form to where it is, like great building blocks, but like giving that love right back to the boys and girls that have like done this for us. I don't know. It's a really cool community where we can actually support one another. Yeah. And, in my time being here, I don't think there's ever been like a division. There's never been like, S2 versus First Form. There's never been that. It's always just been conjoined love of just building up these communities and helping as many people as we possibly can, one person at a time. Yeah.
If there is something like that, it's kind of made up jokingly more than anything else.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Who's going to leave?
Which is also hilarious. Yeah, honestly.
I'll never forget Ameristar, me and an old S2 worker were the last two companies there. And it was like 2 hours after the thing was over. and we literally met like halfway at one point. We're like, want to leave at the exact same time? Yeah. So we shook hands on it. We packed everything up. We literally took the exact same step out of Ameristar, like identical. Our feet hit the pavement, identical at the same time that we could leave together. And it's not like, but that's what we love though. It's like, they're going to push us. Like they're going to get us to get uncomfortable. We're going to do the same thing for them. Sure. The growth is unmatched. Yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I actually want to go back to a little something earlier when you were talking about how after hockey, you kind of try to find the nearest group. You try to find the party scene, that type of stuff. Yeah. Some people naturally jump right into fitness, but again, like that's not always easy because it could just be you by yourself going to the gym at that point in time. That's not really a community at all, obviously. You might nod at somebody in the gym or whatever, but that's about it. It's interesting. I don't think there's enough focus put on that for young athletes who either play college sports or finish in high school, and how beneficial those communities are, and then it just disappears. Yeah. Once you're done, you're just done. Yeah. It could be as simple as somebody plays, 15 years pro and retires at 35. Then they're like, where the hell do I go now? But it also could be in our cases, we play college sports. We're done at, 20 to 24 years old, and you're like, okay, when do I ever achieve something like that again? Or when do I ever join in on something like that again? You know what I mean? So I don't think there's enough emphasis put on that point right there to where you have to search for the most positive things possible you can after you get out of sports. You have to have almost like a a jumping point from that point in time, which I think, as you talked about with Lavecchio earlier, I think he does a really good job of, giving guys that jumping or starting point, but it's not always that simple.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, through my experiences, how I kind of saw it was just like, with hockey, I've been so locked in, been doing all these things since I was 9-10 years old. I lived across the street from a hockey rink. So like waking up at 4 a.m., I was doing this at such an early age, flying all across the country, living in multiple different states, playing the sport. You don't have all the time to have that much fun. Like, don't get me wrong, you and the boys can get rowdy every once in a while.
Of course, yeah.
But when you have all this freedom, in my eyes, it was like, okay, well, let me regain the memories I didn't create in all these years. And to me, that seemed like the easier thing. And, I was working out. Rich Piana and CT Fletcher were massive influences for me back in the day.
OGs right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. CT Fletcher, when he says, I don't eat for taste, I eat for motherfucking results. Bro. That is like,
goes so hard.
That's tattooed in my frontal lobe.
Yeah.
That's tattooed
you might as well put it on your forehead as a tattoo.
I might as well.
100%.
But like, I was trying to take like that party life and those two mentalities and put them together. And, obviously does not work.
Sure.
I was, trying to be big in the gym, didn't get big in the gym because I didn't know what I was doing with my food, my workouts, drinking and partying too much. But like you said, I didn't have a community in the gym to like teach me or help me or support me. I had my roommate. We'd go together. That was about it. But he was on the same boat.
Yeah.
We're ripping, Ben and Jerry's at, 10 p.m. trying to get big like Rich. But, we're not seeing results.
Yeah.
So it was, you learn your lessons along the way.
The thing is too, is I think hockey's such an intense sport to where that can be a very common transition. Because I had a little bit of a party phase as well too, to where like it's very easy to fall into that because everything is so dialed up to 100 with hockey that naturally you're like, oh, I'm going to dial it up to 100 with this too, with partying. You know what I mean? 100%. And it's just like, okay, yes, the memories are hilarious. I will say that. There's no doubt. But where is it leading me? You know what I mean? That's the question you ask yourself for sure.
Well, and that's part of the reason you and I started doing these men's workouts, these men's events, is to create that space and create that group and a good group, a productive group. And at our one today, we had as young as 16 with us. You know what I mean? As a sophomore in high school, and so while he is still currently involved in sports and obviously still heavily involved in school and growing up and, he's going to make some of those memories and things like that, but we're already giving him a place to be, whether that's after sports or it's just another part of his life. We've had anywhere from 16 now to 30,
46, I think.
Oh yeah. 46. Yeah. You're right. You're right. And we've damn near had that age range at the same events too. Not always, but it's part of the reason we've done that. Is to have a community for men, young, older. It doesn't matter. You fit in and you can all get along and learn things from each other and whatever else comes with it.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think this little small little thing to throw into that is just like when you are kind of like whether you're 16 or you're 21. And, you think about, where maybe life could be, like you do need to be surrounded by people that can kind of teach you, like, you don't necessarily need to be the cool kid.
Yeah.
Have you heard that phrase? Don't be the cool kid.
Yeah.
Right. You want to sit in the back of the classroom. You don't want to be the person that's always speaking up, maybe at work or presenting. Like you feel cool, not doing the things that, can actually move you forward. And I was trying so hard to be the cool kid my whole life. And that held me back in a lot of different ways, which I look back now, I'm like, life could be so different, but you live and you learn.
Sure.
But
100%.
To your events now, it's like that 16-year-old, he has an ability to learn from so many dudes of all walks of life, different, work styles, different workout styles. Like he can gain a really big knowledge of all that stuff. And then you think of accountability too. It's like, and he starts to slack, someone gets on his ass. It's going to be uncomfortable, but he needs that.
Right.
And that was, for me, the biggest thing that I needed when I got to First Phorm. I had no accountability before I got there, so I was just running amok. I was just doing whatever I wanted. And then, all of a sudden, people are telling me, hey, start working out. Start tracking your food.
Yeah.
Start reading a book. Fucker, what?
You're
not my dad. You're not my dad. Excuse me, sir?
You want me to read?
Yeah. Like,
is this guy my father?
Yeah. Like I'll never forget, like our first Monday meeting, like I've been with the company maybe 4 or 5 days. Sal comes in, shares something with us from a trip he was just on, and he goes in personal development. What is personal development?
Yeah.
Never heard of it really. Right? Like never really had that engraved in me as a hockey player to go read books challenge myself mentally. It was more of just like, get hyped to go play. You're watching the biggest hits of 2008. Dion Phaneuf just actually taking out someone's head.
Just
like that's
somebody.
the motivation that I had.
Right.
But not like the motivation to become a better individual through reading, through hardships, through hearing, stories like, what you guys are explaining through your podcast. But it's like that kid, again, going back to him or going back to that 21-year-old is trying to find new identities or new groups to be around.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have people, being able to get that accountability, dude, just massive.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be a young man too. Like that's the thing. No, and that goes for whenever in history too. Like I have a lot of people are like, well, it's so hard now. And it's like, no, it's always been hard to be a young man. Like that's the truth because I mean, again, like you got to think about it. Kids grow up a lot slower these days too. That also can be negative because if he doesn't know life by the time he's 18 years old, he's lost. When I was 18 years old, I changed my major 2 or 3 times in college. And that was like, that put me behind in a lot of ways when that happened. You know what I mean? But if I would have grown up by the time I was 17, 18 years old, it would have been a completely different story.
Sure.
So it's, when it comes to young men, like getting to them when they're at 16 years old like that, it makes such a difference because it's like, if a guy who's 28 tells you, why are you doing that? He's like, oh, I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that just flipped a switch that has never been flipped before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's not even the why are you doing that, because that could be a part of it. But it's also, hey, here's what I was doing when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, whatever. Here's what I did do. Here's what I didn't do. Here's how it impacted my life. It might not be the exact same for you, but there could be similarities.
Yeah.
And so look at this lesson that I'm trying to help you with and figure out a way to apply it to your life. I've talked several times on the pod here. I hung it up playing college baseball after a semester. I had about as bad of a fall season as you could have. I had 1 hit, and I was not a bad hitter. And I hung it up, came home, and I held a lot of regret in that for a long, long time. And then I started working with youth athletes and mostly baseball players. And so I was able to give them that story and give them what I was feeling and give them the reasons why I thought it was the right decision, and so, because there's plenty of guys that 16, 17, 18 years old, and it's the same for hockey, there's so much pressure to go play college baseball.
Yeah.
And listen, if you want to go play college baseball or play college sports, by all means, go do it. Like, I want you to do it. You got to work for it. And you have to put in the extra reps and all this type of stuff. We all know it. But if you don't want to do that, that's also okay. Even though the youth sports are so professionalized now, we were kind of talking about that before we started here, there's so much pressure to where if they want to hang it up, they feel like they're doing something completely wrong. They're going wrong by their coaches, by their parents, or whoever it might be. But if you're going to make that decision, you have to be comfortable in it, and you have to know that it's the right one for you, and then on the flip side of that, if you're struggling and you're thinking about hanging it up, but you don't really want to, but because you're struggling and maybe you're immature at that time, and so you're not able to handle the failure, which is how I was.
Yeah.
And you were the same way with hockey up at Iowa State too, and so the lesson there is, we'll keep going, figure out where you're lacking, and work on those skills and better yourself. Get in the gym, start eating right, all the things you just mentioned. So anyway, that was a long way to say using your stories to help other people is extremely impactful.
Facts.
Yeah. So staying on the first Phorm side, so you start in the warehouse, which most, if not everyone, does. Is that correct?
A good majority.
Okay.
Good majority.
Yeah.
We have customer service, entry level position.
Okay.
Some people will come in and get into a role right away, depending on their skills or what they've done for first Phorm, kind of in the outside world. But yeah, more likely warehouse. Yeah.
So what's kind of been your progression from the warehouse? Where'd you go after that? Where are you now? Kind of what are you doing day to day now?
Yeah.
And then secondary, talk about how it's been like being a part of the brand as they have, rapidly grown. Now they're partnered up with Anheuser-Busch and Dana White and, these huge companies, huge names and things like that. Just talk about kind of the progression and then just how it's been being a part of that big growth.
Man, it's, like I said, been a wild ride. Like just seeing where we were at Green Park. If you talk to anybody from the Green Park days, ridiculous stories, absolute madness in the best way. It was like, even in 2020, you can consider us decently big, but at the same time, still so small. in the grand scope of fitness, the world, all the chaos that, COVID starting to roll around. But it was just like, this is interesting. Like I said, I only planned to be there for like maybe 3 months, scram, find a new job. I had started 2 weeks right before COVID. And I'm only sharing this because this was like, to me, a very pivotal part of like why I believe so much in Phorm and Andy and Sal. We go into COVID mode. St. Louis, they, announce all these regulations that, we have to abide to. And in the very beginning, everyone's really skeptical. So we're following, we're doing what we got to do. Working the overnight shift. I was working a 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But like, I was confused at first, right? I was confused, how did I get into this job and how did I get into this shift? And, little did I know that I was going to meet my best friends, like literally my best friends, my dogs, my ride or dies at Phorm. Was going to learn a ridiculous amount of skills, be able to find a gym that could support me during that time. Let me have the whole gym to myself.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the old Iron Hive where it was anytime beforehand.
Sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, so dude, that place has like my blood, sweat, and tears in that place engraved. Okay? And during that time it was, we weren't working, a lot. But Andy and Sal, dude, they took care of us. They showed that they cared for us a ton, man. And, still very confused at like, why do these guys care so much about, helping us develop as humans, as men, women too. And, just gave me more and more of a reason to believe in what we have going on here and that maybe it is something different. Everyone talks about, working for a family. Our job's just like working for a family. A lot of people say that. But like, dude, truthfully, I've really started to feel that. And coming from a dude that did not have a real background with Phorm, I never used Phorm products really before working there. I used Ignition once. I used it wrong. So like, I didn't have like this huge love for the products just yet. But it's like every step of the way, every couple weeks, every few months, like they just gave me more of a reason to believe in myself, believe in the company, believe in just the people that are working there. So, my time in the warehouse earned a lot of great skills. I was able to move into a sales position right after that, about a year. And in that sales role, being able to impact a lot of people, being able to help individuals also build their brands, teach them, the power of social media, teach them the power of helping one person at a time. I think that with social media, it gets really lost at like, what is the right thing to do? And I don't think there is, quote unquote, right way to do social media. But I do think the one thing you have to be really focused on is delivering value.
Yeah. And,
that value to me is like impact, educate, entertain. Right. What am I doing to get you motivated to go into that gym or just chase after a goal? What am I doing to make you smarter, to challenge yourself and do something different? What am I going to do to make you laugh?
Yeah.
If you guys follow me, you obviously know my main page is about making you laugh. Like, bro, in this crazy world, I want people to smile. I want people to feel good.
Yeah.
So I just bring that up because, in this time, what has allowed me to step into this role of social media, taking on more roles with the Instagram pages, the TikTok pages, was me really going in on social media and being able to understand this power that it has. When I was in the warehouse, I had no social media. I was not like posting. I was not doing the whole thing. One of my managers back in the day, he explained how powerful social media can be, what it could lead to, and, kind of what the company's looking for back then.
Sure.
I said, cool, fuck it. I'm going all in. I'm going to see what I can do. And back then, the goal was just to be big, bad, and popular. Be Mr. Cool. Try be viral as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But I learned real fast, like that's not me. Like that's not going to be my style.
Yeah.
And that's a 1% thing.
Yeah.
Only 1% is going to have that overnight success.
We can't all be Bradley Martin.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And all love to him.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dog.
No hate at all.
OG.
100%. Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Another OG for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, during that time, it was like really trying to understand, like, okay, what is going to be my role with social media? Like, what am I going to do with this platform? Because I did want to grow it. I did want to be someone that can make an impact the same way the company's been able to make an impact in me. Something that I educate a lot on whenever people come to me for, just tips on social media or when I'm helping someone at work. I always ask them to establish two things: your purpose and your mission. Okay, your purpose is why you're showing up for yourself. It's why you're waking up at 4 a.m. It's why you're staying up late at night. It's why you're getting on to, the long drives to work. Why are you showing up for yourself? What are you trying to accomplish? Right? It gives you a reason to want to show up on that platform. Okay. Second part to that is your mission. Okay. Why are you showing up for other people? Why do you want to make this different? For me, my mission, my purpose really comes down to me becoming a better person. That way I can help you pull the potential out of yourself. I knew I had all this potential back in the day, but I wasn't letting it release. I was doing nothing to really tap into it.
Yeah.
And dude, it eats me up thinking that like I did so much for so long, not allowing it to be exposed. But I had to get really comfortable understanding that everything happens for a reason, good or bad, whether I'm putting intentional work or not, something's happened for a reason. And I had to tap into that. Really had to explain that to myself to eventually explain that to the world. A quote that really just hit hard for me last year. The world, what is it? How do they explain? Oh, brain freeze. Shoot. Of course, when I'm on the spot,
Dude, happens to us still to this day.
The world, basically it just comes down to the world deserves to hear your voice. Deserves to hear your story. And that's where, about last year, I really started to get even harder on social media. And, that's where, being recognized by Phorm, be able to like, hey, join the media team, get involved. Let's see what we can do. And, be on the backside of things, helping with some creativity, being able to help out with, creating TikToks, creating Instagram posts here and there. It's been a lot of fun, very challenging, very stressful. But dude, the team that we have like on that media side, dogs, great dogs. And that's the big thing too, is like everyone's challenging each other. We're critiquing each other. We're pushing each other. So like with this progression as a whole, like you just learn different styles of personal development and education and just self improvement each step of the way. So like in the warehouse, like you're struggling hard. You're working hard, dude. You're trying to prove yourself. Cool. We get to that next phase where again, I'm in the sales force. Cool. Now I'm helping people. I'm taking that first step to literally help people go out there and impact more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Take those two skills, put them together, mold them to me. And now I'm on that social media world where now I can help even more people. So just step by step, dude, it's been a lot, but extremely grateful for it. A lot of lessons, a lot of tough moments for sure. But dude, it's one of those things where you wouldn't trade it. Where you are today.
Yeah.
What helped me become me? Juice box.
Dude, that's right. That's
Juice
right.
box.
The purpose and mission thing, I think, is just so key.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's obviously those are big hot buttons, in the personal development space, of course, as they should be. Because so many people lack both of those things, and maybe they're really active on social media and they're just kind of posting to post, and they follow some creators that they really enjoy watching. It's like, well, I can emulate that, or I can do that too. And that might work for a little while, but at a certain point it won't, because you're just carbon copying someone else, know? And so I think it's a very key thing for people to think about and then discover in themselves is what is your purpose? What is your mission? Those are two things that you have to have if you want to be successful in whatever you're doing, and that goes for anything. It doesn't just have to be social media or the gym or Phorm or whatever it is. Like literally anything you're doing, you have to have those two things. When we in the OG days, when we started Extrication, we kind of came up with those things. And some of it was taking, and some of it would hit, and we would get views and likes and things like that. But at a certain point, I wouldn't say we lost touch necessarily with where we wanted to go with Extrication. And there were some other things. It's a mouthful to say Extrication over and over and over again. I mean, everyone thought it was Extraction.
Oh yeah.
And so that was also part of the reason the switch to Untapped, because it's a recognizable logo now.
For sure.
It's an easy word to say. It's very versatile, and we really redefined what we wanted the purpose and the mission to be, both within ourselves, but also in the brand. And, now we've seen much better success with that, and that's when the podcast came around, and here we are on our 5th year of the podcast, almost 200 episodes in, and we've had great guests on and things like that. So once we made that switch, we started to see more success as well, so we're also living proof of that. And so I just think bottom line, like people really need to dedicate time and energy to figuring out what those two things are for themselves.
Well, and also along those lines too, because you talk about most people, if they get on social media and they start talking about purpose and mission, they think of the virality you were talking about, right?
Sure.
While in my personal opinion, I'm sure you two will probably agree with this, I would argue that somebody with 2 million followers that just has really viral videos, all that blah, 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 but doesn't really provide much impact at all in his videos. It's just like, he might be funny, or, maybe he just posts like his big lifts or something like that, or, and that's all he does. While somebody like you with 20K, people look at that, it's like, oh, he's okay. Like he's big influencer, but he's not that big. but how much impact do you have compared to the guy who has 2 million?
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
like there's a huge difference.
You know, Lexi's
great example.
On example.
Yeah.
100%.
I've seen people with 3.2 million put out there that they're doing a group event. No one shows up.
Yeah.
Right.
The second Lexi put something out, dude, sold out.
There's 500 people.
So
Yeah,
8
yeah.
million people show up.
Yeah,
right.
Insane.
Right. And it's funny you mentioned her because I was going to mention her, Will Bates, and Vex. All three of those are great examples of that. And funny enough, all former guests on the podcast. You know,
we're biased.
Yeah. Well, and we're the reason that they've grown to where they are.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Of course.
Shout out Untapped.
None of their own personal doing. Yeah,
no, of course not. But those three are just are tremendous examples of what we're talking about
For sure.
You know, and three fantastic, genuine people that just do good.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it takes, though.
Of course,
Being genuine,
absolutely.
not just posting a post, because it's like you can have a personal brand and just post and kind of show the highlights of your life, like that's cool. But if you really want to make an impact and grow, like you really got to get out there, like you got to get uncomfortable. Something I talk about every once in a while is like you got to be willing to get embarrassed. Yeah, you got to be willing to do some of the silly shit. You got to be willing to do the uncomfortable stuff in public. Yeah, like Lexi does a phenomenal job of that. So does Will. Like all these people that are growing and they have community, they have a strong message to show. They're doing these things on a consistent basis. Yeah. So again, you just got to show up and be willing to speak the truth on who you really are. Yeah. Not just be a carbon copy.
Yeah.
Right. I think the big comparison there too, I'm looping you in with those three as well, to where, and fair loop in there, to where there's no portrayal from you for that you're perfect. You know what I mean? Like that bothers me a lot of times because there are high level influencers, the 3.2 million followers or whatever and stuff like that, who it comes off the way they show their personal life as if it's perfect. And it's like, one, you don't necessarily have to show your personal life, but also you don't have to portray that all your opinions are absolutely correct and that you never miss on anything at all. And it's like, I would rather have somebody who's real, like the four we have mentioned here, including you, instead of somebody who is just putting up some kind of facade. At least it comes off that way a lot of the times. And, you hear stories come out about many influencers, a fitness influencer that, had a really big downfall recently. I'm talking about if you want to look into that, go on Goob's page for that.
Big tough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. But like that's a good example. It's like a lot like, what are the skeletons in the closet? Are they acting like they have no skeletons in the closet too, along with that? Or are they just providing really, really good content and they're not pretending like they're perfect?
Dude, I would 100% agree. Is like I need to get back to like that's a really good reminder for me. When I was really first starting to get involved with social media, I was talking a lot more about my struggles with alcohol, my struggles with the party scene, my struggles with drugs, my struggles with just really trying to find who I am again. And, so many people resonated with that. But it's like people want to see the proof. People want to see that, if they're stuck there now or they're starting to take those steps to get out of it, that there is someone that made it and they could tag along with them. Yeah. Like that's where, again, for me, when I say like I want to help pull the potential out of you, like, if you think that you're alone, if you think that you're lost, you're not. I thought I was for a long time. I struggled so much. Like when first moving here, I had my parents. My parents moved to St. Louis, or where we are in Wildwood, maybe 3 months before I did. So cool. I had my family. I had my parents. Awesome. I had my sister. Have a couple cousins. Not too far over in Fenton. So it's like cool. I have family, but I don't have necessarily like my group of people to bleed into me. My people to inspire me, and my people to push me in certain ways. So, I'm still trying to figure out myself, and I think I'm alone. I'm not. I'm really not. And that's where, again, seeing real people on social media that you can follow, that you can have a real conversation with, you can shoot them a DM, and you can actually have a conversation. Like, cool, I found my people. Or there's more people like that. Yeah. And it starts to spiral. That's where I say, like, I've been able to build my brand early on based around me just sharing my struggles, just being real, and that I've been there. Bro, it sucks. Like I've shared it at work plenty of times where, even breaking down, like, dude, it hurts. You're not alone. There's plenty of people out there that want to win, but they just don't know that person that also wants to win. Yeah.
No, that's an excellent point there. You want to talk lifting?
I think that's a phenomenal idea, honestly. Yeah, 100%. Let's do it. So let's get into the meat of the episode, so to speak here. I think that'd be a good description. So let's go over, start with just your top lifts, because for those that don't know, Nick's kind of a strong guy. He puts a couple pounds on the bar, that type of stuff. So let's start with there. Let's start with just your
talking
top
like
lifts.
PRs?
Yeah, let's walk through them a little
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Squat, 660. Didn't hit depth, so I'll say 650.
bit. Okay.
I've hit 650 a few times.
If
You still had 660 pounds
Yeah,
on your
if you
back.
even
Crazy.
get down with 660, then it counts. Yeah.
But when people check it on Instagram, just got to make sure. Make sure.
Bro, the commenters who were
Yeah.
like, you weren't at 90. It's like, and then you go on their profile page, they're
Yes.
140 pounds soaking wet. And you're like,
Right.
dude, you're not in this conversation.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
stay out of this.
Tough.
Anyways.
But yeah, 660, bench 405, deadlift 635. Yeah,
Goodness.
it's been fun.
Man,
So 1,400 pounds, almost 1,500. I guess
15,
1,500 pounds.
yeah, 15. Yeah,
you're better at
Lord.
math than I am. Yeah.
I can count in 45s.
that's the only
Yes.
math I
Yeah.
know.
That's all we need, boys.
45s,
That's all we need.
25s, 35s. Wait, there's the 35-pound
I
exists.
I don't
Those
know
aren't
the
real.
last
Those
time.
It's a
aren't
step.
real.
It's
I
the
don't remember
redhead
the last time I've
stepchild.
used a 35 on anything. I'll be honest with you.
It's so odd.
It is
Yeah,
weird.
it's
It's,
weird.
so weird.
I'll never
screws
use
the
a
whole thing
35. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only go by 25s and 45s.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's like
that-
just
that
be
is
a
nuts.
45.
Yeah.
All right. I know you want to be it. Like just be a 45. Okay?
Tough life.
Just please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Change your identity. Transition to a 45.
Oh, that's
Oh,
tough.
sorry.
man.
Sorry, boys.
That's tough. That's tough.
Let's also talk current goals because
Yeah.
obviously you've changed between the bodybuilding, the powerlifting, the
Mm-hmm.
all types of styles. What are your current goals right now with lifting?
Yeah, man. Transitioned from powerlifting into bodybuilding.
Nice.
Goal is to compete at the end of the year, step on stage for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have a show planned. Working on just some size right now. A little bit more size.
Mhm.
It's just like it's such a new world that training wise and competing wise, like I do want to be able to present the absolute best package.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, I know my first time doing this, like it's not gonna be perfect. I know that might not even win anything. That's cool. That's fine.
Mhm.
But like I know that I'm gonna give it 100% the whole way through, no matter what. So stepping on stage. I think it's December 5th or 6th, something like
Okay.
that. So a lot of time. So far, enjoying the process. Definitely very different, but the body is very grateful. Powerlifting, I
I'm
would wake
sure.
up and you'd feel like you just got hit by a truck. And this is how I'm starting my day. Like it's supposed to get better from here, buddy. What? So the bodybuilding's definitely been very nice.
Dude, that's
loving
awesome.
the pumps though.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Pumps are awesome.
Juicy.
Unmatched.
Awesome,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Unmatched.
They
Yeah.
really it's a great starting point too for
Dude,
people.
when you get
Oh my
30 grams
gosh.
of rice the night before, 40
Oh.
ounces, sorry,
See
40
ya.
ounces.
Yeah. Looks like your arms just tripled in size.
SpongeBob?
And you pick up a
Yeah.
dumbbell and that's it. That's the whole start of the workout there. It's
Walk into
unreal.
the gym.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace, love carbs. Like let's
Yes.
let's get that out of the
Yeah.
way.
We need a
Carbs
shirt.
are good.
Yes.
Carbs are good for performance. Like oh my
Yes.
gosh,
My
dude,
favorite.
A legal PED right there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no
Damn
doubt
right.
at
Yeah,
all, dude. Let's go.
absolutely.
What actually on that
Yeah.
note? What does
Yeah.
your current calorie intake look like?
About 3,000
Okay,
calories.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like what do you break that up macro wise?
Protein 170.
Okay.
Carbs 468. Fats 50.
Nice,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
very
The
nice.
fats game that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But
It
we
really
make it
is.
work.
Keeping it under
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because 75 is a really good spot to be at for fat too.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you were like 300 pounds or something like that, that'd be entirely different. You could probably be at the 120 to 140, I'd guess, at that range. But that's like because what are you 220?
Yeah. Sitting at 220 right now. Yeah.
What's your
Let's
goal
go.
weight for the stage?
Man, it's so scary to say out loud. I can't even say it. Like it worries me because like I've been 200 plus. I don't even know since like
Just
17,
just awesome to be
18.
Really?
200 plus.
so it's like just thinking going below that, and you always hear like people say, "Or if you're below 200, are you
Victim
really
weight.
man? Are you-
Victim weight.
I
have
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
made videos like that before. So yeah,
it's tough.
there's no
So,
doubt.
I'm gonna say it out loud, but 180, 190,
Dude,
like somewhere
nice.
within that
Okay.
range. Again, scary, but like I know that I can trust the process. I can trust the process. I can trust myself. I can do that. I'm super confident in my ability to do that. It's just getting past that mental piece.
Sure.
God,
Sure.
it's scary, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna look good. I'm confident.
Oh, 100%
I'm confident,
you are,
man.
yeah.
So when are you going to start the cut phase then?
Oh.
Maybe like May, June, July?
Yeah, I would assume so.
'Cause you'll have about 30, 35 pounds to cut.
Yeah.
So So maybe earlier than that?
Maybe earlier. Yeah. Definitely depends. Definitely kind of considering myself into maintenance right now.
Sure.
So if it starts to get a little out of hand, might have to do a slight cut,
Yeah.
get back into maintenance,
Sure.
kind of play around a little bit like that. Yeah, no real set time. I mean, that's a great point. I might have to lose a lot of weight, but regardless, we'll lock in. We'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to be doing anything like carb cycling or something like that when that time comes? Like higher carbs on the training days compared to off days less, that type of stuff? You're going to be doing anything like that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. This is out of my realm.
Yeah.
Nutrition's
that's
never really
fair.
been my piece. I'm coaching people. That's never really been my
Sure.
realm within fitness. I'm more than happy to help out with getting you started there, but it's never really been my role of coaching people. I'm just trusting my coach at this point, really understanding like
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
You had one. Yeah, you're
trusting
working
my
with.
coach
Nice.
with it, making sure that like, he feels confident what he sees from me, him staying on his game, being able to analyze myself.
Sure.
We've made adjustments already throughout just this maintenance, and I feel incredible. Like I said, I wake up feeling great. My workouts are awesome, ridiculous PRs left and right, like stuff like it's been cool because with powerlifting, squat, bench, deadlift, I have a few accessories. I'm not trying to hit PRs in those.
Sure.
And even with the bodybuilding world, like, not every day is supposed to be a PR.
Right.
We're doing eight reps,
Right.
6 reps.
Yeah.
But I'm using weights that I've never even touched before.
Yeah.
I'm maxing out machines. That's just getting scary.
Mhm.
And, not that I like, world's strongest guy by any means, but my confidence is through the roof.
Good.
Someone just say,
No, I said because you're probably top 1% in the world,
Maybe.
strength wise.
maybe.
I mean, a 660 squat, like that puts you essentially in a top 1% or less
That was
category
crazy.
as well. Like
That was a crazy day.
easily.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But like, again, like, trusting the process has been good. And, I keep saying it, but it's like, that's all for me personally, I know that's all I got to do.
Mhm.
I'm that type of person where if you give me a game plan, you give me structure, I'll follow suit. I've
Yeah.
always been that way.
Dude, you're
Always.
that's the ideal client right
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
And are you working with someone in first form?
Yeah.
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 Who's that?
My man, little man, Donovan. Yeah.
Donovan.
That's
Hell
my
yeah.
guy.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Little
That's my
man.
guy. That guy is a savant. I swear.
Yeah.
He's a savant. When it comes to like nutrition, fitness, that guy, he's dialed.
Awesome.
Yeah. You give him a
That's
book,
awesome.
just like looks at it. It's
Memorize it.
It's locked.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in my brain.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like literal laser just enters his fucking eyes and he knows it. And that's like the cool thing. Like that's where I feel super confident in him and myself is like, we're a really good team the way we communicate. He's one of my best friends. And, for him to push himself in a lot of different areas of his life as well, that's where I trust this the whole way through. I know that he's going to do what he needs to do to better himself as a coach, as an individual, as an athlete.
Mhm.
I just got to do my part too.
Yeah.
I got to push myself in these other areas. I got to get smarter. I got to get, better tapped with like my mobility, which is tough to say, but like,
Shout
it's
out
all-
Wyatt for that one.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah.
But if both of us are doing what we got to do, dude, we're gonna do something really cool by the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's very cool how you're talking about this as well. Is what you don't know,
Yeah.
and so you're putting full faith into someone that does, and you're putting full trust, and then like you just said, you have to do your part,
Yeah.
and that's the key of a client coach client relationship. You kind of hear it described both ways. They're going to provide you with the plan,
Yeah.
as long as there's someone worthy of writing that plan, and that's something we've talked a lot about, which Donovan clearly is. But you're going to get the plan. Do your part.
Yeah.
Do your part. You want those results. You want to step on stage looking good, whatever it is. Trust the plan and do your work.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Dude, 100%. Like, I don't know. This is always something like I've always kept in mind for myself. I've always shared with plenty of people. So many people want to think outside the box, but have you even mastered the box?
Yeah.
Right? Do you even know your 4 corners? You know the 4 basics of what you're working on to go become the best person.
Right.
Right? You think about nutrition. Cool. Are your steps down? Are your macros down? Are your workouts down? Is your water down? For your, business, cool. How's your acquisition? How's your retention? How's your sales? How's your marketing? Cool. If you have those 4 things locked down, cool. Now we can go play outside. We can get outside that box and try something different. But if you only rely on the different and you got this stuff over here,
None of it, the basics mastered.
it's going to fall through.
Right.
And you have nothing to rely back on.
Yeah.
So that's where, as simple as it can be, when you trust this process, because you have the basics down on both ends, me and him, cool. This is going to work out pretty damn well.
Dude, you and I have been talking about this a lot the last couple of weeks, where like 18, 19-year-old kids getting on test, starting that already.
Crazy.
And it is crazy, and there's going to be some special cases
Yeah.
where maybe they are extraordinarily low. at that age.
We knew a
And
21-year-old that was at that
we
point.
do.
Yeah.
We do.
Uh-huh.
You know, and obviously if that's the case, it's a different conversation. That's not the conversation we're having now, though.
Right.
But those 18, 19-year-old kids, they don't even know what they're capable of without that. And now you could be screwed for life.
Yeah.
You know, we're not guys to sit here and say, you know, test bad, TRT bad. We are not those guys, you know, but we are the guys that are going to tell you at 18, 19 years old, probably don't need to be doing that, you know, and why not go see what you're capable of without that, you know, reach into that potential that you were talking about. Different way, but still the same idea. Sure. Because at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, your hormones should be off the charts, you know, just naturally. And what you can do just on your own, you would be shocked, you know, and it's never going to be that way after that, you know? And so we hear these stories. We know some guys that are that age and they're on stuff, or they have coaches that have put them on stuff. And it's like, you got to get away from that. You know, you have to. Otherwise, down the road, you know, your fertility, your hormones down the road are completely screwed, you know, and you don't even realize that because you're just wanting to look good at 19 years old. Yeah. And it's like, dude, there's more you got to think about here. You know, and again, your potential at that age in the gym is amazing. So use that, you know, and if down the road you want to get into untested shows or stuff like that, okay, fine. You know, that could be something, but it's shocking. You know,
well,
to say the least.
The comparison you're making there too is like we were talking about master the basics, and then the different can be something like the performance enhancers and whatnot. Yeah. And again, there's all types of resources where you can do that in a medically safe way.
Sure.
After you max out your natural potential.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, like mistakes can be made, especially at that young of an age where guys can get on that type of stuff and whatnot.
Well, and you can be very easily influenced as well.
Very.
And that's the other part.
Everywhere on the internet.
That's not even their
most
fault.
of what we've seen too, is it's influence from
Yes.
somebody else who should not have told them to do that.
Correct.
And they did. And yeah, like, cause the thing is, again, like you're talking about the growth hormones, the medically prescribed testosterone, you're talking about fertility enhancements, that type of stuff, peptides, all that stuff. Again, if it's done in the proper manner and delivered in the proper manner, by all means, you know, but again, why rush into that before you've even seen any of the basics be completed all?
You know what you're capable of.
Yeah, exactly. If your training's shit and you get on all that stuff, it's like, that doesn't help anything at all. That does nothing for you at that point in time. You're just basically enforcing bad habits that you're going to use when you're 27. Yeah. And it's like, well, but I've always been on gear. It's like, that's not the option we're looking for here at all.
I mean, today we had a guy at our men's event. He blew out his pec benching. And so he's
at the men's workout. I'm just kidding.
No,
just kidding.
I was saying, bro,
Nope.
Unrelated. And it speaks volumes to who this guy is to actually still be out at the event, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He was still in the gym right now, but he's using peptides to help the healing process.
Yeah.
That's a situation where that's good 100%. And that's okay. And now that more and more information is coming out about peptides, we see what they can do to help speed up the healing process of major injuries like that.
Again, properly administered.
Exactly.
That's the key right there. Yeah.
Exactly. And shout out our episode with John Fogarty. What's the number?
152.
There you go. Yeah. Episode 152 with John Fogarty. Great episode talking about all this type of stuff. Co-owner of Summit Rejuvenation here in St. Louis. Well, actually nationwide.
Yes.
So that's a great episode for more information on this type of stuff, guys. But anyway, I don't remember where else I was going with that. So.
No, it's good. Yeah. I thought that was really good. I was going to ask you on continuing on that topic, Nick, so you guys, it sounds like you're doing like the 5 to 8 rep range for a lot of stuff for the most part, which is a lot of where the research is headed for when it comes to hypertrophy, which is awesome to hear that. Have you tried any other styles like higher volume compared to, you know, higher intensity and how you pair those together? Have you tried anything like that in the past?
In the past, yeah. You guys familiar with Julian Smith?
That name sounds so. Where is he from?
Utah, I believe.
Okay.
OG with fitness.
Gotcha.
OG.
Okay. That's probably where I've heard of him.
Super old school guy. He believes in the super, super high volume. There's like some workouts, 100 reps. Ooh. And that's actually where I started. Like once I first moved here, that was kind of like my guy back in the day. And I did see a lot of progress from there, you know, but I was also kind of getting a lot of those newbie gains, you know, fell off for a little bit of time, you know, from that transition of leaving school to moving here. So we're now getting back in the gym. Was kind of moving around, just whatever, no program. But then I find him. I'm starting to work with those programs, and it helped decent amount. Over the years, man, I haven't tried like too much. I've always been a pretty simple guy when it comes to training, kind of keeping it within like 2 reps, 8 reps. I don't know.
Not really a functional patterns guy.
No, gosh. No. Oh, gosh. No, man.
Easiest guys to hate on in the fitness industry.
The one tough thing of working at First Form, bro, when they toss you into these workouts.
Oh, like the high rocks ones?
Bro,
get the hell out of here.
You are the like one of one power lifter. Good luck. Good luck, buddy.
It's like, oh, sweet. Will I have to go on the ski erg? Okay, cool. Yeah, great idea.
How much weight can I put on the ski erg? Like, how many plates does it hold?
We're like, oh, shit, we have Nick T. We're definitely losing this one. No, but I can hold myself pretty well in those, and I like to consider myself a mini fridge on wheels.
That's that hockey background right there. Yeah.
If you get me to start running, and it's long distance, I'll keep going. As long as I don't stop, we're safe.
Yeah. If you stop, we're in trouble.
Exactly. 100%. If we're pivoting, bro, we're done.
Bitch over here sucking breath.
Accurate. But no, training's always been like pretty straightforward. I got into powerlifting probably after like my first year of being there. So I was powerlifting for maybe 4-ish years, something like that. Yeah. So squat, bench, deadlift just so often.
Just so badass.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. And that's why I loved it. It was just like, dude, okay, what can I accomplish next? Dude, like the first time I did 405 squat for 20 reps, like,
oh, I didn't realize we had Tom Platz.
Oh my Lord. That's crazy. Yeah, what in the world?
But like you do that.
I'd be spewing everywhere all over the gym. Doing something like that.
I was okay. Couldn't walk for a bit. Had to lay on the ground for like 20 minutes.
First Form would have to bring in a hazmat team if I was doing that with Nick. Well, for the mess I would leave after that.
Bro. Yeah. I mean, trust me, I felt it, but we held back.
Oh, man.
But like that's what I loved. It was just like, that's what I was kind of getting known for around HQ as well. Like that's what was kind of helping me get my name spread across. I'm a new guy, and Will, shouts me out for doing something like that. I'm like, hell yeah. But it's like, he's recognizing it. I'm recognizing within myself too. Like, man, I have some cool potential behind this. And that's where it eventually leads to like, the first meet, first powerlifting meet, all by myself, had no clue what I was doing. And I was able to get first my weight class. To be honest, was I only one? Maybe. I don't remember. Could have been. But, still had so much fun that I was like, cool, I'm hooked. And, again, and just powerlifting for all these years. It's weird though, because it's like I got decently big, like been able to like build some good sized muscle, but then I make that transition to bodybuilding, and bodybuilding is literally building this body. Like I'm building, bro. I am building
tissue on everything.
Dude, it's happened like so quick. It is a little bit of like newbie gains again, because my body's been so used to a certain style for so long, and then now this hypertrophy comes in, and then we're seeing size.
Yeah.
So now it's like that new level of excitement. Cool. Maybe I'm not, smashing weights like I was for squat, bench, and deadlift, but I'm building these biceps. My quads are getting massive. My hamstrings, I've never seen growth in them. Now, like I could feed a family of 8 with these things. So it's like, things are happening. But overall, it's like, this is the excitement that I love in the gym, is like, what else am I capable of?
Yeah.
So, and that's like when you're talking about like the kids that are hopping on gear. Bro, you didn't even know what you could do naturally. Right. You're just choosing to be uncomfortable. Right. Or comfortable, I should say.
Yes. Yeah.
But not to go back to the whole
Taking
thing.
the easy route, yeah. 100%.
But yeah, just with training, always been very simple, but now
nice.
I switch.
You're going to get into any like Tom Haviland type stuff, like Zercher squats and all that stuff?
Oh, dude.
You know Tom Haviland, right? You might have seen him on Instagram before.
Is that the dude who always wears jeans?
And he wears jeans and he doesn't ever show his face. His face is never shown on anything.
It's Michael Myers.
No, literally it's Michael Myers. Yeah, because apparently he's like 6'8", 350 or something like that.
Terrifying. He's terrifying. I don't know, dude. I've never really thought of it. It freaks me out, to be honest.
I would love seeing you do Zerchers, dude.
Zerchers freak me out right here. I feel like my arms are just going to explode.
It's a little bit uncomfortable, but you honestly, you get used to it quicker than what you think.
Really?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine just like anything else.
Of course. Of course. Is it a lot of stress in that crease there? Of course. But as long as you're doing it right, you're prescribing it right, like you'll be fine, And so without recency bias, which style do you prefer out of the two that you've mainly done?
Oh, dude, that is tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard question.
Oh, bro. I mean, it's just like,
you're like, can I pick power building?
Yeah. Well, dude, I
split the middle.
As I have kind of made this transition, I guess I can consider that I was power building, and I didn't think it was that effective. Yeah. Right, and there's a lot of programs out there that are power building.
Sure.
And to me, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but I think there is a separate world for sure.
Yep.
Right. You can build the power, you can build the body, being able to do it together to a really cool extreme, like where you're stage ready, but also meet ready.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think is necessarily a thing, but I know it's kind of a joke, but dude, of the two, I would probably say at this point, bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I eventually do want to get back into powerlifting.
Of course.
That's definitely the goal.
Sure.
Heal up a few things, build some size everywhere else, and kind of looking like a superhero out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, with the bodybuilding, I think one of the unspoken things, I mean, it is talked about some, but the confidence you build in that style, and you were mentioning it earlier, like it's off the charts because you look good, and you look good too, and you've worked for it as well. And so I think that's something that comes along with the bodybuilding world because, I've been lifting probably 6 years-ish, going on 6 years now, like truly
Going
lifting.
on,
Because it was about COVID times, when we started lifting together. And that's been the majority of it has been a bodybuilding style. And man, when you really dedicate to it and you match the nutrition to go with that, just like what you're doing now, man, it's unmatched, and you feel like the confidence is extremely high.
Yeah.
Especially when you start cutting down, like, you're going to start to feel tired. Yeah. Energy levels aren't going to be great. That's what Phorm energy is for anyway. Yeah. So it's okay. We can counteract that, So are there some downfalls that come with the cutting phases? Yeah. But what it's replaced with is amazing, and that confidence is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we did a 8-week challenge at the end of the year and, lost 21 pounds. And at my lowest calories, I think I was 1920.
Really?
Yeah, 1920 my calories. And, I spread out everything as much as I could with, crazy day at work, whatever. But all throughout the day, I felt really good. It just wasn't really until I, got ready for bed or after my last meal, I'm kind of chilling on the couch, that it starts to hit me like, man, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, dude, getting tired is for sure a real thing when you're on those low calories.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think as long as you're just being consistent, like you can maintain that pretty well. Good energy, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I've heard too, when you're that low, like that 1900 range, as long as you match that with 1900 milligrams of caffeine, then
not doctor's advice. Not doctor's advice.
I mean, if you insist.
Yeah. If you say so.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
And, with the Phorm too, like you're getting your protein in. There's 1 gram of protein.
Bro.
So as long as you
if I have 200 of these a day, dude, we're hitting the goals.
That's right. That's
all
right.
man.
You're getting both sides.
Shit.
I'm not a professional by any means, but it could be very helpful.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
no.
right. That's crazy.
Oh, damn. What are we doing?
I don't know. Before we get canceled here.
We do get those comments every once in a while saying it is a protein energy drink. We're like, whoa, buddy, we're going to educate a little bit here. We're going to slow you down. No one is considering this a protein energy drink.
No, not a single person is.
It's a high quality energy drink. Don't get me wrong.
Very high quality, yeah.
But we are not going to claim it as protein.
Oh,
because that's just the craze right now, dude.
Oh, it's a thing. I know.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's so insane to see.
Like sparkling ice that's protein or whatever.
Dude, well, I'm just saying, it's just like
Bucked Up just came out with one.
The progression of fitness over the last almost 6 years that I've been involved, like with First Phorm. March will be 6 years with First Phorm. So like, I've seen so many things happen that I don't think like as a consumer maybe you're paying attention as much because we're looking at competition. Sure. We're looking to see what everyone else in the market's doing. Is this working? Is it not? Are people wanting this? Are they not? So when you see everything starting to become more handheld. Like, damn, dude, people are willing to do whatever now. People will make whatever. You see all these crazy protein snacks, like the Pop-Tarts, bro.
I know.
That irks me to my core.
Yeah.
Seeing
protein
stuff like that.
chips.
Yeah, everything's got protein, but it's not the right amount of protein.
Right.
Right. It's just a label.
Yeah.
So it is tough because, it messes with everyone's head where they think this is now going to be a protein.
Right.
But that's where we come in. Now we can educate, right? We build value through there too, which, is cool that people think that they can, or I should say, no. They can come to us with those type of questions, thoughts, ideas, and now we can have more of a conversation.
Yeah.
So, it works.
That can definitely be one of the downsides of the fitness industry too, is the whole like protein craze with stuff too. And it's like, let's majorly get Whole Foods in for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like obviously the protein powders, the bars, all that stuff, the First Phorm especially are really good. But if that's 60 to 70% of your diet, with protein, that's concerning, and same thing if you're just like drinking, again, like a sparkling ice style of protein or whatever, and that's how you're getting in a bunch of protein intake. It's like, that's also not what we want to do in that scenario either. And that is also a consequence of the fitness industry in general, is it tends to be a little bit weird with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and staying on this note here, as a consumer who most are not fully educated, nor do they really want to be.
Yeah.
You know, they want the convenience. Something says protein on it. It's like, okay, well, perfect. That's going to help me get my protein. But that's one of the biggest keys in the education process, whether you're a company like Phorm or your coaches like us or whatever it might be, is just because that box of granola bars says protein granola bars, you need to look at the label and, okay, you're getting 10 grams of protein from this bar, but it's a 320 calorie bar. It's like, that's a Snickers, bro. You know, like it's not a protein bar.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the trade-off for the amount of calories that you're getting with the protein is not as quality as what it should be. Protein quality aside, but just the straight up amounts, you know, you want to be looking at that almost 10% range. If it's a 200 calorie bar, if you can get somewhere in that 17 to 20, 22 grams of protein, okay, now we're talking about a protein bar. And like you just mentioned too, Gabel, that's 60 to 70% of your diet. Like, we got to learn how to cook some chicken breast. You know, we got to get some ground beef on the stove, you know, and that type of stuff. But let's bring
people are paying attention. Just real fast. Good
True.
thing, first off, glad you're paying attention to your protein.
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Once you get interested into it, do a little bit of research.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And it's not that difficult either. It's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be super in depth or confusing or anything like that.
I have to start diving into insulin sensitivity or something like that.
Right,
It's like,
right,
okay, like
right.
let's just talk protein here. Keep it basic. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But let's bring Mitch into the conversation here. He's got a couple questions that he's going to ask. And to be clear here, we do not know what these questions are.
boy.
So we
Yes.
have no idea
That's-
what,
that's
clue.
terrifying.
what might be brought into the conversation here. So Mitch, what do you got?
So Nick, as an individual who enjoys promulgating caffeine,
What was that word?
Sorry, I didn't bring my dictionary.
supposedly
Can you use that in a sentence?
promulgate, it is to make known to the public,
Oh.
popularize, or advocate.
Yeah.
As an individual who enjoys popularizing caffeine, what are the levels of enjoyment for your caffeine of choosing, right? Is it coffee first? Is it Phorm energy first? Is it, I don't know, some kind of crazy pre-workout that has 800 milligrams at once? What is the choice here?
I'm probably going to go Phorm energy.
Okay.
I'm probably going there. I'm not really a coffee person. The only thing coffee I like is ice cream. Coffee ice cream. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is
That's
good
a
though.
wild
It is,
take.
good.
it's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
It's fire. Shout out to
That's an
Silkies.
interesting take. What, like Bluebell? Like, what are we talking about? What kind of ice cream?
Shoot, Silkies, bro. No, not
Oh,
Silkies.
Andes.
Yeah, Silkies.
Andes or Silkies, both of those. Those are both good.
Yeah, they have coffee one there. Yeah,
Yes.
I
That's
definitely.
an interesting take. I've never heard of someone who enjoys
Yeah.
coffee
Bluebell
ice
also has a
cream, but
fire
not
one.
normal
Yeah,
coffee.
Bluebell's fire.
I don't know.
That's
I
for
feel
sure.
like I have to brush my teeth after
No.
coffee ice cream. I don't know.
Oh,
Do you brush your teeth after having a cup of coffee?
I try to, yeah, because it will
Okay.
stain your teeth. Yeah.
Valid. Okay,
That's
that's
So,
valid.
so do you not use any of the first Phorm pre's at all?
Oh no, I do. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Well, if we're going rankings, like what am I going to grab
if you're
first?
taking
I'm
it
going
first.
energy drink.
100%.
But for
yeah.
workouts, yeah, we're going Project One.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to try it yet. I've heard it's phenomenal. Yeah, because I've had the OG plenty of times, but the Pro
Mhm.
one that came out looks
Yeah,
dosing looks
that
unreal.
350
in it.
hits hard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're locked in. You're sweating.
So our okay, fair enough. So our other excellent question revolved around your enormous size, obviously, Nick.
Hey, now.
So what food is the best for increasing bicep size? Is one we got.
Okay. Yeah. Great question. Yeah.
I'm either gonna say pancakes or definitely pancakes
True.
or jasmine rice and soy sauce.
Just a meatball load
Jasmine
up
rice and soy
in
sauce.
terms of carbs. Just,
Oh, yeah.
just filling out the frame.
Oh, 100%.
Fair
dude.
enough.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
yeah. If you're seeing my stories on Instagram, you're either seeing pancakes, a massive pancake, like 5 servings worth, or you're gonna get like 40 ounces of rice. Kind of depends on the day.
We're talking about what food increases bicep size. Yeah, right now.
Apparently 40 ounces of rice, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Bro,
Shit
rice
works.
and soy sauce though, game changer. Like
Dude,
it's just unreal.
I hate how addicted I am to
Oh,
it.
100%.
I hate it.
I
Yeah.
thought sodium was bad for you, though.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh, yeah.
okay.
This guy
Next. Bro,
brought functional patterns with us again.
it was cracking me up. I want to say it was maybe your second to last YouTube video where you talked about the Panda Express like family meal or whatever it was. Like,
Dude.
You were like, it's $100, but you get 26 servings worth of rice or whatever it was.
Dude,
like, this dude's nuts.
Dude, it's worth it. 100%
Well,
worth
yeah.
it.
That is actually
When
a really
broke
good
it
deal.
down,
Yeah.
You broke it down. I'm like, all right, he's got a point there. You know, you don't have to cook it. You don't have to, spend money on several different ingredients or whatever, which I guess rice is pretty easy. But, but still, like you have all these meals ready to go right there.
Dude, I'm big on Panda. My points, my reward points, I can take you guys out and we'd have a hell of a time.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in at this point in time.
Yeah.
I'm down. I like Panda a lot too.
Yeah.
It's fire stuff.
I like to call it a guilty pleasure because I know there's a lot of people that get the ick from it. But dude, it's my jam.
Yeah.
People like to complain about it. Like if it's not, there's a group of people that only home cooked. That's the only way. And it's like you absolutely can healthfully. I was going to say that's not a word at all.
We can make it a word.
We can make it a word.
Yeah,
let's go
now.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just made it one.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely chase your health goals or your physique goals or whatever it is with food. Again, you're not eating Panda 7 days a week or something like that. Obviously,
way.
You're not eating Chipotle 7 days a week and whatnot. But if you need to stop by one, by all means, it can be a great way to, especially if you're actually like in a bulk phase or something like that too. If you want to get like 1,200 to 1,500 calories in, that's a really good way to do it too.
Yeah. Well, dude,
so
even with Panda, like you get 3 servings of the grilled teriyaki chicken, you're almost at 100 grams of protein.
yeah, it's fire. That's fire.
That's pretty stellar.
It's
But like being
Panda's
able to pay
spokesman
attention.
yeah, I mean, we
That's
need
a goal.
a Panda.
That's a goal. One day, Panda.
We need
hear
a
me
discount code for Panda
Yeah,
right
for
now.
real.
What the hell?
That would be when I make it. Like that. People ask, Nick, when do you know you made it? When Panda hooks it up.
Yes, absolutely though.
But dude, no, I think that is an important piece though. It's like being able to pay attention to when you go out. You know, there's the restaurants will cater to you. You just have to be willing to speak up.
Sure.
And it's funny, people just think that like, for those who are in 75 hard, I think they'll learn really quick how easy it is to actually maneuver on a day-to-day basis when you go and live your life.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be the friend that's boring. Like you can be a friend that goes out and enjoys your time. Just be willing to speak up. Dude, restaurants will easily cater to you.
Yeah.
100%.
They will.
You don't have to
take your money.
You don't have to be in like a hermit for 75 days.
Yeah.
Of just hide in your house for 75 days
please
straight or
don't.
something like
Right.
that. Yeah,
live your
my
life.
goodness.
Dude, live your life, chase your goals, fucking go hard. You can do incredible things.
Yeah, and
during that
75
time.
hard's awesome too. Like that's a great way to
Yeah.
chase
That was
goals
the-
in a lot of
That
ways.
was the first thing that like completely moved.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've completed it twice. What are you 3 times? You
3.
completed it. Yeah,
3-time champ.
Let's go. let's go. Yeah, but 75 hard's awesome. But you're right. Like there can be like a hardo aspect to it, to where like they literally think if you step outside into a restaurant, like you fail the challenge right away, and it's like okay, like you absolutely can make the restaurant work around you a little
100%.
bit. You know, like if there's a drop of a seed oil in your meal or something like that, doesn't mean you fail 75 hard. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
But hey.
Well, and you like to drink the seed oils just straight out.
Yeah. I'm
Calories,
big
calories.
big canola guy, right to the dome, right to the dome.
Mixes that with his protein.
I would be more of an olive oil guy. If I was to just drink something, it'd be olive oil.
Big olive
It's
oil,
so
yeah.
good. Oh my god. Just put it on some bread and some butter. Oh gosh.
Mitch hates you right now.
Do you know? So if we really want to bulk over here, all right, we're gonna go to Costco. We're gonna buy like the big 1 liter jugs of olive oil, and if you drink that whole thing, it's some absurd. It's like 32,000 calories or something like that in that jug.
You'll be on the Mr. Olympia stage real fast.
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll also be on the porcelain throne stage really quick too. I mean, that's no problem at
Your
all.
body wouldn't see a solid for months.
right.
Your shitter will be desecrated after that.
That's
You might as well get a plumber on retainer at that point.
On call.
Find a swimming pool.
Oh. Nick, why is your pool green?
It's goals, baby.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm just
Goals.
chasing my
Left
my
over from
routine
St.
goal.
Patty's Day. That's all. Yeah.
Patty's Day. Oh my gosh. You missed the coffee ice cream too, by the way, from him.
Like making it?
No, he says it's a great strategy for coffee.
That was
Your coffee
our
intake in?
first question was ranking of caffeine, since he's a purveyor of caffeine. I don't think
I
that's the
see.
right word,
I
though.
see. I see. I did miss that then. Yes. You got another one?
Well, we already asked the other one.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you took a dip out.
Just making sure.
Yeah, you had to go hit the porcelain throne
yeah.
stage.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
real
That's what
quick.
you
Real
had to
quick.
do.
Just easy. I didn't do anything weird. All right. Come on now.
You had to go drink olive oil.
Yeah, right,
He has a quick
right.
shot.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Well, Nick, where can people find you? Let's start there.
Yeah, all social medias is Nick Tomljenovic. I don't know if you could put on the screen my last name. That'd probably be very helpful.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have it in the title and everything.
Okay,
yeah, 100%
cool.
description.
Yes,
Yeah,
like I
all
said,
of
it took me till second grade to figure it out. But yeah, all social media is just me, Nick Tomljenovic. Really easy.
And YouTube?
YouTube.
Same thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Right on. Right on.
Can't wait to see the growth there.
Yeah.
YouTube's hard to grow on, dude. It's
Dude.
really hard to grow on.
Yeah.
It's kicking my ass, but
Yeah.
like the way I see it with AI right now, people are just being swarmed by all this fake content everywhere you look.
Mhm.
Real content.
If I can really dive into a
That's what we need.
platform that depends on being a real individual,
Mhm.
going out there, chasing goals, doing great things, sharing lessons, I think that's going to be a big dynamic in the social media world for sure. So yeah, just going hard on that right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
How long have you been going on YouTube?
I would say probably off and on for the last 2 years, but very consistent in the last maybe 4 months.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Are you doing all the editing and stuff yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's hard.
Badass.
Dude, well, because you're putting out, 30, 40-minute videos.
Yeah.
Like I make our vlogs and like I know when those long videos are going,
Yeah.
it's just like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
It's
It's
lot.
tough,
But it's
but-
fun.
Yeah, it
It's
is fun.
fun.
And I'm just
Yeah.
trying to keep it as raw as possible. Like,
Yeah.
I love the cinematic. Like, dude, I have some of my people that I follow that, dude, it's an absolute cinema.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's so
Oh,
badass.
dude,
The music, the
yeah.
transitions, the filters. I'm not there yet, and I'm not going to push myself to be there just yet. I'm going to keep it as raw as possible, me as possible. And if I develop those skills over time, then cool, I'll get to that point. But I'm just going to be full, raw, unedited as much as possible. Just clip shit together, provide value, and let it
Nice.
be that simple for people to find me.
Yeah.
And like find something that sticks with them and resonates. And cool, if they follow, sweet. Now we can start to build on that a little bit
Yeah.
more. And, maybe over time I find someone that helps out. If not, no biggie.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
And you're kind of documenting this brand new journey for yourself
Yeah.
too.
Dude,
All
it's
the way to
hard.
the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, but it's fun. I'm loving it.
That's awesome, dude. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
This will be a great episode for everyone to listen to. A lot of great information, good laughs, of course, and whatnot. And we thank you for coming on.
Yeah. Thank you
Big time.
guys.
Yeah.
It was badass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Nick.
Thank you guys.
All right, guys, that is episode 189. Again, very quickly approaching episode 200 here. Share the show. Okay, it's completely free for you. We ask very little of you guys. Share it to your Instagram stories, text around to your friends and families. Submit your Q&A questions by email. Our email is untappedllp@gmail.com. You can also DM them to us on Instagram at untapped.llp. You can DM them to either one of us individually. You can text them to us as well if you have our numbers. And finally, you can leave those questions in the comments of any of our social media posts. We're very active on the Big Five: Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, and YouTube Shorts. So leave them in the comments. Questions can be about anything: health and fitness related, current event related, funny. It doesn't really matter. They all get sent over to Money Mitch, and then he will ask one at the end of the non-guest episodes. Again, gentlemen, be on the lookout for our next post. Likely when you guys are hearing this, likely next Sunday or Monday will be the announcement for our next men's event. Did I forget anything?
Newsletter. Subscribe to the
Newsletter.
newsletter.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Last thing, go to our Instagram profile, click our beacons link. It's just right up there in the bio. I think it's the second or third one down. Sign up for our brand new Untapped newsletter. Completely free. We don't spam you, nothing like that. We're just giving out really good, solid information through your email. So put your email in there. It'll send you a confirmation. Confirm that, and boom. That's all you got to do. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think you nailed it. Yeah.
Guys, until next time, peace and love.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.